If what the CIA knows about Mars is true, I definitely wouldn't want to tell anyone what happened there either. Warning, Philip is a professional mind blower. The topics discussed are not for the closed-minded. I'm sure you've heard of the declassified 1984 time travel mission they went on to the Red Planet 1 million years into the past. If you haven't, then well, they did. Here's the official report, and yes, it's on the CIA's website. Now this was a remote viewing mission, meaning they hired a professional psychic to astral project himself to Mars and tell them what he saw, which admittedly sounds like hocus pocus, but they did release other documents called the Gateway Process that sorta tells us astral projection is kinda real. And to be fair, they didn't even tell the psychic where they were sending him, but what he saw confirms exactly what they were expecting. But remote viewing in general is still just a hard pill to swallow, I agree with you. Well, what if this wasn't the first time they visited Mars, because they already sent a manned mission to the Red Planet 10 years before that. Project Redsun is the rumored joint mission between the United States and the Soviet Union that claims to have done just that. As the Cold War was ramping up in the 60s and 70s, both nations had come to terms that global thermonuclear war would be a little catastrophic to say the least. So they allegedly launched a covert, super ultra top secret black op project to plan a backup civilization on Mars. After NASA allegedly went to the moon from 1969 to 1972, Project Redsun tells us they didn't stop there. In 1973, they launched a secret mission from a facility in the Amazon jungle, as far away from usual launch sites as possible in order to keep it hidden. A manned mission with a full crew that was sent on the Interplanetary Space Vehicle, the ISV Columbus. A little over 5 months of space travel later, they landed on Mars, and even took videos of the entire journey, which were obviously all super highly classified and never shown to the public. A convenient excuse until they got leaked. In 2011, Italian journalist Luca Scantamburlo revealed in a press conference that Project Redsun was real, with testimonials and emails from people directly involved. The journalist shows what he claimed to be real photos leaked by a Project Redsun whistleblower from the surface of Mars, taken by astronauts who were there. Some of them even feature signs of civilization, with one of them showing a step pyramid in the background on Mars. He insists they're real, but I mean, come on, blurry photos with a red filter can easily be faked, and clearly NASA has denied them all. But then the journalist drops this, an alleged leaked video of the entire Project Redsun mission. We see a card that introduces the spacecraft, the ISV Columbus, in 1973. Astronauts floating in the cabin as they log their journey to the Red Planet. There's a shot that shows the Earth and Moon far away in the distance as we get to day 100. Then day 158, and we see it. The spacecraft approaches what appears to be Mars in classic shaky cam footage. It gets nearer, and we see Mars' signature landmarks and reddish colors start to show. ISV Columbus gets closer and closer, showing more of Mars' terrain, polar ice caps, and craters in the shots. Then they descend to the surface, which the video does appear extremely blurry here, but it's also kind of exactly what we got with the moon landings. It touches down, and we see some weird thing crawling on or maybe under the surface, and the video ends. Apparently, there's much more, but this is all that got leaked. But my friends, as much as I would love for this to be real, it turns out this video is almost definitely fake. Taken from other NASA missions to the moon, stitched and compiled together with satellite footage from Mars to make it look like people actually landed there. And the photos would have been even easier to fake. Just take moon landing photos, make them blurry, and apply red filters to them. Wait a minute, did I just debunk myself? Hold up, the real big question here is why would NASA even want to cover up arguably humanity's greatest achievement and not brag to the world about it? Well, in 1971, they took their first ever close-up photos of the surface of Mars from their Mariner 9 spacecraft. Over 7,000 images covering about 85% of Mars' surface. So if something was there, they saw it. In 1972, just a year later, NASA publicly ends their totally real moon landing Apollo program. Another year after that is 1973, when Project Redsun to Mars is said to have taken place. Did they see something in those satellite photos they didn't want the public to know about? Then cancel the Apollo program to covertly send humans to Mars to check it out? Was the infamous face on Mars just the tip of the iceberg they accidentally let slip out? If there was evidence of something like a civilization that existed on Mars that got wiped out, I can promise you the government would not want the public to know about that, because that's exactly what they found out during the CIA's remote viewing mission of Mars in 1984, which, unlike the highly rumored Project Redsun, is totally real and fully declassified. Back when the CIA was dabbling with psychic warfare in the middle of their Project Stargate, where they worked with psychics and attempted to gather intel through astral projection and such. This is the science of remote viewing, where a psychic is induced into a susceptible state to see exactly what's happening somewhere and when else. So they got this guy, Joel McGonigal, a decorated intelligence officer on the ESP spectrum, to go on one of their most important missions. Joe went into a room with a researcher and was given a sealed envelope which was his destination, and was asked to describe what he saw without looking into the envelope. He saw, get ready for this, tall pyramids, large obelisks, and a tall, thin, shadowy people who appeared to be dying. After the test, he opens the envelope to see that it reads, the planet Mars, 1 million years BC, exactly where he remote viewed into. It's also interesting why the CIA would choose 1 million BC as their time of destination. Like, wouldn't it be more interesting and practical to see what's there right now? Unless, of course, they already did know from a certain Project Redsun, where they saw firsthand what's really there and decided to go back in time to see what it used to be. During these tests, Joe claims to have seen a past civilization, a dying race of people who were devastated by some global catastrophe, one that appeared to have been destroyed by nuclear warfare, and we even have scientific evidence for it. In 2012, when Curiosity landed on Mars, chemical analysis revealed that the top layer of Martian soil contained high amounts of xenon-129, and the only thing on Earth that creates this isotope of xenon are nuclear explosions. Every time we've tested nukes on Earth, we see traces of xenon-129 in the ground around it. Martian soil contained amounts 2.5 times higher than what we have on Earth. Physicist Dr. John Brandenburg adamantly stands by the theory that an ancient Martian civilization was destroyed by nuclear war, claiming that nuclear weapons experts confirm the signatures found in Martian soil could have only resulted from nukes and no other process can produce that. He also found 2 hotspots on Mars that had abnormally high radiation levels, with the level of xenon in the soil indicating this is where the nukes were dropped and would have been around 1,000 megatons each. For comparison, the largest nuke ever tested, the Tsar Bomba by the Soviet Union, was 50 megatons. Dating the xenon isotopes in the ground shows that these nukes would have been detonated about 200 million years ago. We have substantial evidence that Mars had water and an atmosphere many hundreds of millions of years ago, and we don't exactly know what happened to it. Perhaps a civilization once existed there who either destroyed themselves with nuclear weapons or, even worse, were visited by another race who did. And if that is the case, what's stopping that other race from coming back?